Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing really well. In this video, we are going to talk about how you can write a professional CV to make sure that the recruiters pick yours out of a bunch of other CVs. So if you're interested in that, please stay tuned and let's get started. CV is very important because it's going to be the employer's or the recruiter's first impression about you. You may be very good at talking or very good at interviewing, but if your CV is not good, you may not even get a chance to do the interview. So that's why I took my time to try and talk about this CV writing to ensure that you guys get your dream jobs and get yourselves and your families to the UK. The first part, we're going to talk about some of the rules that you should keep in mind when you're writing your CV. Don't lie on your CV. When you're writing your CV and you're putting your skills or your experience, please make sure you put something that you have done. Do not lie. If you don't have a driver's license, don't say you have one. If you haven't worked in an area or you don't have a skill that you're claiming to have, please don't put it down on your CV, because one way or another, they are going to catch you. And if they do, and even if you're already in the UK, you're going to be deported, and there's no point in that. So please make sure that everything you're putting in your CV is true and right, because in the UK, they are very serious about fraud or lying, especially on your CV. Keep your CV about 2 pages long, and I'm talking about the 2 pages of A4 size, because I remember when I qualified, my CV was about 6 pages or I think 7 pages long. I had put so many irrelevant things there, and I pity the recruiters that had to go through my CV because there was so much things put in there. A lot of them were not even relevant to my job as a nurse. And then when I started my UK process, I realized that I had to shorten my CV and just put in the relevant information. So make sure you put only 2 pages, 2 A4 pages. And this is because these employers or these recruiters receive so many CVs, guys, so many of them. And you want this recruiter to have a look at your CV on the first page, which is very important. And once they look at it and they're skimming through, they are going to see your skills. The things that you should put, especially on your first page of the CV, should be very important. You should show your skills, and you should be able to put down something that will tell the employer this is the right candidate for the job. So if you have put all those irrelevant things in your CV, please make sure you get rid of them. We're gonna talk about the format that you can use later, so just keep watching. The other thing I want to talk about is fonts. In high school, we all wanted to do things in calligraphy. You're writing your notes in different pens, red, green, blue, black, you know, all of that. It looks very nice. It's enticing to your eyes. But when it comes to doing something like a professional CV, please guys, try and be formal about it. All right? So for fonts, I advise you use the simple fonts like Calibri or Arial, something like that, something that can be easily read by the employer, something that looks nice and neat, none of that calligraphy stuff. All right? For the fonts, you can use just a normal font from 10 to 14, maybe 14 for the headings. The headings can be in bold and underlined if you want, but everything else should just be in a normal, simple font, black, and that will be perfect. Also remember to use bullet points so that you can bring your points across nicely, and bullet points also helps your CV to be neat. All right, so if you're writing like your experience or your skills, make sure you use bullet points to differentiate between different points, and that way your CV looks nice and neat, and it is easy for the recruiter to understand. It's quick for them to grab that important information about you so they can select you for the interview. Okay? Another thing is to create your professional email account. Okay, you can use Gmail or Yahoo, but all those funny nicknames that a lot of us put in our email, they are not good. They don't bring out a good image of you to the recruiter. So I would advise to use your name for the email. Even if you're gonna use this email just for the UK process, that's okay, but try and find something very professional, something formal, not those funny accounts. Just avoid all of that, guys. You want to bring yourself across as a very professional person, so create a professional email account. Once you create your CV, of course, you're going to do it in something like Microsoft Word. When you're forwarding it to your employer or to this job application, try and forward it using the PDF form, because PDF is very easy for anybody to open it on all platforms, maybe a mobile phone, a computer, a tablet, or anything that they might be using. It's the best form to send your CV. It's very easy to convert a document to PDF, and there are very many ways you can do that, even on Google using free software online, but just try and do it using PDF. Something else I wanted to mention is that you do not need to title your CV as curriculum vitae. I remember that was always the first line on my CV, but that curriculum vitae thing up at the top, we all know this is a CV. Don't try and waste your space by putting irrelevant things on your CV. Like I said, we are trying to keep it short, simple, and straight to the point, so avoid irrelevant things that are not going to market you out there. Instead, use that space for putting something more important on your first page of your CV. And then another very important thing is proofread your CV. Always proofread your CV. It's normal to make mistakes. We all make mistakes, especially when we are writing essays or even doing a CV or something like that. But it's very important to proofread it, because you don't want to send your CV to an employer and yet you've made so many spelling mistakes in your CV. It's going to put out a very bad image of you, and you want them to have the best impression of you so they can at least give you a chance to do an interview and eventually hire you for the job. In healthcare, documentation is very important, and you don't want to be putting yourself out there as somebody who always makes spelling mistakes, because they will want you to obviously document what you'll be doing for your patients or your residents or whoever you'll be taking care of. So try and proofread. And on the computer, it's very easy. You can use software like Grammarly, which is free. It can help you to identify the mistakes that you've made along when you're doing your CV. So now let's get into the format. And the first thing that you do when you're doing your CV is your contact details. This is where you're going to put your name, you're going to put your email address, the professional email address that we've said, you're going to put your home address, and you're going to put your phone number, okay? Now, most of you applying for these jobs are doing so when you're outside of the UK. So when you put your phone number, please remember to put the country code when you're putting your phone number. For instance, in the UK, we use +44, in Kenya, we are +254, or something like that. There's a whole list of country codes, and if you don't know US, just go to Google and you need to put that in front of your phone number. So in case they need to contact you or send you a message, they will be able to send that directly to you without struggling and wondering which country you came from. All right, it just makes things easier for them and quickens the process as well. The next part is the professional summary. To me, this is one of the most important parts of your CV. This is where you're going to put your professional summary. This is where you're going to tell that recruiter why they should pick you and not somebody else for this job, okay? So like I've mentioned, keep it nice, short, simple, and straight to the point. All those CV cliches like you're a team player, you're reliable, you're professional, you're hardworking, all of those, they are good to use, but don't overuse them, because you're trying to show this employer that you have more qualities than everybody else who is applying for the job. And I guarantee you, a lot of people use those cliches in their CV. But if yours is standing out because you're showing them your actual skills, they're definitely going to pick you over the other people that have sent in their CVs. So what exactly do you put here? This is where you put, for instance, 15 care certificate courses that I talked about. You can put these ones here. If you've been volunteering, maybe let's say you've been volunteering in a clinic that deals with patients with dementia, you're gonna say you are able to take care of your dementia patients. You can say you've been working in a hospice, or you've been working in a nursing home somewhere in your country where you help the residents with their activities of daily living, things like eating and drinking, mobility, you know, personal care, things like that. This is where you put that. Just summarize that in a very small paragraph. But this paragraph, make sure you use it very well to show this employer that you have the skills to do the job that they are advertising for. All right, and now we move on to the next part, which is the skills. The skills are what you are going to be bringing to this employer if they actually hire you for the job. The skills that you may put down are skills like helping people with activities of daily living, eating and drinking, personal hygiene, helping people to communicate, especially for people with learning disabilities or people with dementia and Alzheimer's diseases. If you've done your courses like basic life support, please make sure you've done it here. First aid courses, if you've done something like that, it's relevant to healthcare, make sure you put it down here. Also, if you've done the 15 care course certificate, those are skills that you've acquired. They're skills that you've learned, so put them down here. Let's say you didn't have a medical background before you decided to apply for, for instance, like the healthcare assistant job, and before you were working as a teacher, somewhere. So you can say that you had very good leadership skills as a teacher. You were very good at listening to your students and making them feel comfortable, helping them to communicate their needs and wants. You can put that in your skills as well, because as much as that wasn't a healthcare related job, you can still use those skills that you were using as a teacher in the setting of the job that you're applying for. And if you feel that those qualities that you had in your previous job, whatever it is, if you feel that they are going to be useful in the current job, please put them down on the skills part, because they are important. You've practiced them and you're going to be bringing something very, very important as well to your new job when they hire you. After that, we move on to the work history. If you've been volunteering, make sure you put that down here. Use job advertisements to make sure that your CV matches the job description that the employer is putting out in the job advertisement. And this is what we mean when we say that you need to tailor your CV according to the job description. Okay, so I recently posted a job vacancy on my community tab on YouTube and also on my Telegram group. And on this, let me actually find that. So according to this employer, they are looking for certain people. So they are saying your key responsibilities as a care assistant are going to include providing care and support, promoting independence, personal care support, medication support, meal preparation, home support tasks and dementia, Alzheimer's support, stroke recovery support, providing palliative care, learning disability support, and mental health support. So when you look at such a job description, you will be able to figure out exactly what these people are looking for. So for instance, let's say that you have been taking care of people in their home, you've been providing care and promoting independence or personal care and supporting them with medication and eating and drinking. This is what you put in your skills. You can say, for instance, that I have been working in this and this home, and while I was there, I was providing care and helping people with activities of daily living. I was helping them to take their medication. If you've been working with people like for this job, they are looking for somebody who has been working with people with learning disability and supporting mental health. So you can put that down as well. So you can say that you were working in a facility where you were supporting people with learning disabilities. You were able to help them communicate their wants and needs, helping them feel comfortable, but make sure that you have actually done it or you know that you can do it. Don't lie, because if you lie and you get here, they will catch you. Start with your current and then move backwards. And then the next part is obviously your education. For this one as well, start with the current or the most recent one, moving on backwards. If you went to university and you received a certain degree, just put it down there. If you went to college, put them down there. The courses I talked about, like the 15 care course certificates, the basic life support, the first aid trainings, the HIV and AIDS management and training, all of that, make sure you put them down here because they are really, really important in something like healthcare. And the last part is usually the references. You have a choice. You can put down your references or you can tell them that they will be available upon request, which is also something that is acceptable in the UK. There are people who put hobbies in their CVs. I am not against that. You can always put hobbies in there, but make sure that they are hobbies that are actually relating to the job that you're applying for. Okay? If you put things like traveling or watching movies, I don't really think that's important to like a healthcare assistant job. But if your hobbies are something like entertaining, I would put that there, because in nursing homes, people are always being encouraged to, encourage their residents to go for entertainments. You can maybe offer an afternoon where you're not so busy and decide to bring all the residents together and help them in entertainment or help them to play games. So if you put something like that there, it's going to be helpful and it's something that is relevant in your CV. I think that is all I had for you guys for this video. I tried to make it as short and as quick as I can. If you have any more questions, please put them down in the comments and I will be able to answer them. I think I always say that's the best place to ask your questions, because I will see them and it just blips on my phone and I will be able to answer that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for the returning subscribers. You guys are amazing. Continue to share these videos so we can reach as many people as we can. Thank you so much. I'll see you on my next video.